Number of sentences, 486. Number of groups, 110. Group 1. Controversy, theory, great. 1. Her celebrating theory has a great level of controversy. 2. The theory has a great degree of controversy. 3. Celebrated theory is still a subject of controversy. 4. Celebrity is still the great source of controversy. Group 2. Tutor, recommendation, give. 1. Let me give you an example to explain what I mean. 2. Tutors will give you recommendations. 3. You can contact all your tutors by email. 4. There is not enough evidence to support these recommendations. Group 3. Research, forecasting, tropical. 1. The research on cyclone and tropical frost are our forecasting. 2. We support the research for tropical dynamics and forecasting. Group 4. System, feature, part. 1. Some economists argue that the entire financial system is fatally flawed. 2. Most of these features are parts of the previous system. 3. A very basic feature of computing is counting and calculating. 4. Our food supply now contains so much added sugar that our metabolic systems can't handle it. 5. Some of the features are parts of the previous systems. 6. All industries consist of the systems as inputs, processes, outputs, and feedback. 7. The most striking thing about this budget of smartphone cannot be seen on its face. 8. Upgrading manufacturing systems can increase efficiency. 9. Control systems in manufacturing provides a high level of accuracy. 10. Politics is not usually a safe topic of conversation. Group 5. Evaluation, form, university. 1. Evaluation form will be reviewed by university personnel. 2. Evaluation forms are reviewed by the university personnel. Group 6. Year, service, 100. 1. They were struggling last year to make their service pay. 2. Hundreds of millions of dollars are spent each year promotion unhealthy foods. 3. There is bus service from main campus into city center. 4. They have struggled since last year to make their services paid. 5. Weather patterns have been changed significantly over the past 200 years. 6. If you are not sure, phone the student services for help. Group 7. Company, policy, report. 1. Leading companies change their policies after reports were released. 2. The leading companies have changed their policies and procedures after their reports were released. Group 8. Archaeologist, discovery, foundation. 1. Archaeologists' new discovery stands out in previously overlooked foundations. 2. An archaeologist's new discovery stands out in previous overlooked foundations. Group 9. Others, come, stay. 1. You come with me and the others stay here. 2. Our class is divided into 2 groups, you come with me and the others stay here. 3. Some people regarded it as care, while others regarded it as recklessness. 4. I will come back to this in a moment. Group 10. Student, examination, PA. 1. She used to be an editor of the student newspaper. 2. Certain scientific principles need to be learned verbally or by logical deduction and examinations. 3. In addition to the requirements, students must pass qualifying examinations. 4. Students must pass all the qualified examinations. Group 11. Critic, artist, politician. 1. The artists tied the conservative politicians, earned their roles of critics. 2. Most theories are quite similar but a few critics disagree. 3. Artists, rather than politicians, played their own roles of cultural critics. Group 12. Growth, American, term. 1. Americans have progressively defined the process of plant growth and reproductive development in quantitative terms. 2. Americans have cheapest typical growth in quantitative, qualitative terms. 3. Americans have progressively/technically found the growth in quantitative terms. 4. This slide shows there is a minimal growth. Group 13. Area, winter, bird. 1. They are both grown up in the rural area and dislike the urban life. 2. Traveling by boat on the river is not possible in winter. 3. Many birds migrated to the warmer areas for winter. Group 14. Time, eating, practicing. 1. Practicing time-restricted eating a few times a week could be both feasible and healthy. 2. This schedule allows plenty of time for independent study. 3. The time of the math lecture has been changed to 10:30. 4. It is important to allocate your time wisely when revising. 5. He was regarded as the foremost economist in that time. 6. You have to learn how to use the library to save your time. 7. He started his tutorial presentation right on time. 8. Eating too much can lead to many healthy problems. 9. The cart carries a single object. Group 15. Summary, detail, article. 1. Important details in the article are missing from the summary. 2. Your summary should be as clear and concise as possible. 3. The vocabulary that has peculiar meanings is called jargon. Group 16. Way, brain, people. 1. We have sufficient ways to study in brain action. 2. We have sophisticated ways of studying the brain. 3. The ways in which people communicate are constantly changing. 4. Statistic results should be described in different ways depending on circumstances. Group 17. Chemistry, Department, Building. 1. Despite of protest, Chemistry Department was closed down. 2. Chemistry Building is located at the entrance, interior, to campus. 3. The Solar Energy Department is highly regarded worldwide. 4. Graduates from this course find careers in the financial department. 5. She has made a significant contribution to the field of chemistry. Group 18. Property, gain, mark. 1. Any gains on property must be properly allocated. 2. To gain full marks, an appropriate bibliography is required. 3. Do not know if there is a plural, but I do not seem to have. 4. The properties should be appropriately distributed. Group 19. Assignment, student, Friday. 1. You must submit your assignment by next Friday at latest. 2. The students are instructed to submit their assignments before Friday. 3. You should draw your graph on a separate page. 4. Below the heating controls in the middle is a small round plastic button. 5. Students are instructed to hand in their assignments by the end of this week. 6. Students were instructed to stand in a straight line outside of the classroom. Group 20. Character, different, hard. 1. Remember, the gifts purchased by children should have a striped character. 2. It is hard to anticipate all the different characters that they react. 3. It is hard to anticipate the different characters when they interact. 4. It's the words of common occurrence that have different referential value. Group 21. Child, advertisement, debate. 1. The advertisement for children is open to much debate. 2. The attention of advertisement is focusing on children. 3. The excursion for children is very much open to debate. Group 22. Test, mathematics, semester. 1. The placement test of mathematics and science is open to every semester. 2. The placement test of mathematics and statistics is offered to every semester. Group 23. Language, speaker, test. 1. Native speakers are tested in the language test in their own language. 2. Native speakers are examined by their language tests in their own languages. Group 24. Theory, answer, examined. 1. All answers must be examined and supported by relevant theory. 2. Convincing evidence for this theory is hard to obtain. 3. Students find true or false questions harder than a short answer. 4. Early streams of economic in Roman Republic will be examined. 5. This paper challenged theories. 6. All answers must be totally researched and supported by relevant theories. Group 25. Issue, underlying, addressed. 1. Detail-based underlying issue must be addressed first. 2. While concealing ideas is desirable, basic underlying issues must first be addressed. 3. While reconciliation is desirable, the basic underlying issues must be addressed. Group 26. Article, experiment, number. 1. The article illustrates a number of interesting experiments. 2. A recent article shows a number of interesting experiments. 3. The article covers interesting experience. 4. The article considered the leisure habits of teenagers in rural areas/places. 5. Article numbers are collected through interesting experiments. 6. The result of the experiment is reported in the table below. 7. This is interesting in Parliament. Group 27. Week, Conference, Advance. 1. Our professor is hosting the Economic Development Conference next week. 2. The coffee house has a special student discount throughout this week. 3. Conferences will always be scheduled 2 weeks in advance. 4. Conferences ought to be scheduled 2 weeks in advance. Group 28. Work, author, experimental. 1. The author's early work is more philosophical and less experimental. 2. The early work is more philosophical rather than experimental. 3. The author is currently the professor at the Cambridge University. 4. The author's previous works are more theoretical and less experimental. 5. The early works of this research are more experimental. Group 29. Extension, Information, Faculty. 1. Those students seeking for formal extension should talk to their faculties for more information. 2. If you seek for further extension, contact your faculty for more information. 3. Synopsis contains the most important information. 4. Students requiring for an extension should apply sooner rather than later. Group 30. Material, Reference, Hold. 1. Reference, Resource, materials are on the hold of library reference desk. 2. Pain is necessary, as it acts as a warning of danger. 3. Today's lecture materials will be included in the next assessment. 4. Please make sure you have collected all the necessary materials. 5. Please make sure you correctly cite all the necessary materials. 6. The library holds a substantial collection of materials of economic history. Group 31. Issue, Exploration, Problem. 1. The issue bursts the exploration of the problem. 2. The theme of the issue was the estimation of recent problem. 3. Scientific beneficiary to space exploration is frequently questioned. 4. Most of the students have not considered these issues before. Group 32. Nurse, Work, Management. 1. Nurses specialize in clinical work and management. 2. Nurses' duty is to specialize in clinical work and management. Group 33. Photograph, Evaluation, Aerial. 1. An aerial photograph was promptly registered for federal evaluations. 2. The aerial photographs were promptly registered for evaluations. Group 34. Essay, Semester, Student. 1. You will need to submit your essay next semester. 2. You need to hand in the essay next semester. 3. This class will look at the structure of the essay. 4. Final year business students have to write a 5-word essay on market trends. 5. The essay will be published once the research is finished. 6. All students need to attend no less than 1 labs per semester. 7. The dance department stages elaborated performances each semester. 8. Essays should be typed with double space in white paper. 9. Many students are so scared of writing essays, because they never learned how. 10. There is a need for constructive dialogue between leaders. Group 35. Student, Option, Apartment. 1. The students have the option to live in the college residences or apartments. 2. Students have the options to live in campus residences or apartments. 3. Students have the options to live in colleges, villages or apartments. Group 36. Grade, Calculation, Lowest. 1. Your lowest grade has been eliminated from calculation. 2. Your lowest quiz grade has been omitted from the calculations. 3. Interim grade will be posted on the board outside the student lounge. Group 37. Money, Company, Society. 1. Company exists for money, not for society. 2. Scientists are always asking the government for money. 3. The company needs to polish its image. 4. Money and how it is paid can affect the motivation of work. 5. The equality has not yet been achieved in this society. 6. Companies want to protect their brand from negative comments. Group 38. Publication, Journalism, Collection. 1. Journalism is the collection and publication or transmission of news. 2. Biographic information should be removed before the publication of the results. 3. A periodical is a publication that is issued regularly. 4. Universities should carefully monitor their articles and publications. Group 39. Confidence, Skill, Daily. 1. Being proactive daily can build confidence and improve skills. 2. Daily practice can build confidence and improve skills. 3. Consumer confidence has a direct impact on sales. 4. Listening is the key skill to succeed to this course. Group 40. Form, Dissertation, Submission. 1. All dissertations must be accompanied by a submission form. 2. All dissertations must be accomplished with a submission form. 3. All visitations must be accompanied by a form. Group 41. Place, Course, Competition. 1. Most university teaching takes place in lectures and seminars. 2. Competition for the places in the course is fierce. 3. The most popular courses still have a few places left. Group 42. Lecture, Policy, Economic. 1. This morning lecture on economic policy has been cancelled. 2. The following lecture on economic policy has been cancelled. 3. The following economic lecture has been cancelled. 4. She began by giving a brief outline of the previous lecture. 5. The main lecture today is covering the causes of global warming. 6. The lecturer tomorrow will discuss the educational policy in the United States. 7. Before attending the lecture, you must register online or by post. Group 43. Election, Year, President. 1. An election of president is held once every 4 years. 2. Identity theft happens to thousands of people every year. 3. Elections for president take place once every 4 years. 4. The glimpse of dipping into this as a hobby is an enormously rewarding experience. 5. All students are encouraged to vote in the forthcoming elections. Group 44. Style, Theme, Work. 1. The theme of the instrumental work exhibits more of a demure, compositional style. 2. The theme of the workshop is more of a demure, compositional style. 3. The module of the work is more of a compositional style. Group 45. Prosperity, Export, State. 1. The prosperity of the United States can be described as the consequence of its open exports. 2. She received a scholarship from the State University. 3. The nation achieved prosperity by opening its exports for trade. 4. The United Kingdom is a constitutional monarchy and parliamentary democracy. Group 46. Book, University, Library. 1. The other book is not authorial but it is more insightful. 2. The university library has the most of the necessary books. 3. The university officer will help you locate housing and transportation. 4. The university has a world-renowned school of archaeology. 5. The park behind the university is open for public. 6. You cannot renew any overdue books in the science library. 7. You can request library books by using the electronic catalog. 8. The economic books are at the back on the left. 9. Our log books make up 5% of total marks. 10. In this library, reserve collection books can be borrowed for up to 3 hours. 11. Books for children often contain many bits of illustration. Group 47. Program, Undergraduate, Stage. 1. Undergraduate students may participate in specific stages within the program. 2. It is really a comprehensive program that covers both theory and practice. 3. Undergraduates may participate in specific stages within the program. 4. The undergraduates need some specific sources to analyze a specific program. 5. You may need to purchase an academic gown before the commencement. 6. Undergraduates may pay their interests on special stages within specific programs. Group 48. Faculty, Member, Support. 1. We support of many faculty members. 2. The decision is made with the support of many faculty members. 3. In consultation with your supervisor, your thesis is approved by faculty committee. 4. All of the assignments should be submitted in person to the faculty office. 5. Members should make concentrated contributions to operating funds. 6. Affordable housing is an important issue for all members of society. Group 49. Price, Worker, Company. 1. Farmers do not always receive price for agricultural goods. 2. We cannot consider an increase in price at this stage. 3. When met with high potential risks, companies will raise their prices. 4. Attracting skilled workers to the city with expensive housing is hard. 5. When workers ask for higher wages, companies often increase prices. 6. Cosmetics and plastic surgery often evokes images of famous personalities. 7. When bad drove out good, the local workers were more difficult than their competitors. Group 50. Chemical, Process, Involved. 1. Your role is principally involved in the new chemical processes. 2. Neurons are principally involved in chemical processes. 3. The chemical building is in the interior of the campus. 4. Acupuncture is a technique involved in traditional Chinese medicine. 5. The new media has transformed the traditional national boundaries. Group 51. Training, Specialist, Journalist. 1. Theory and training are required to become a medical specialist. 2. Years of training are required to become a medical specialist. 3. You are training to be a special journalist. Group 52. Reaction, Adding, Dilute. 1. It is hard to observe the reaction of the character of all reaction. 2. I will now demonstrate how the reaction can be arrested by adding a dilute acid. 3. Even if you've used cosmetics for years without problems, one or more ingredients can still trigger an allergic reaction. Group 53. Class, Student, Representative. 1. One student will be selected as representative of each class. 2. My tutorial class will begin at the next Monday's morning. 3. Please remember to bring your highlighter to class, on, next Wednesday. 4. Student representatives will visit classes with voting forms. Group 54. Scientist, Variety, Process. 1. Scientists here are studying a wide variety of process. 2. The scientists now study a wide variety of atmosphere, mysterious processes. 3. The scientists found most of the studies today. 4. The scientists use the web to explore the problems. 5. The Earth's atmosphere is mostly composed of nitrogen and oxygen. Group 55. Team, Work, Try. 1. Try to work with each other to build up a sense of cooperation and team spirit. 2. Successful applicants will work with a large team of researchers. 3. Tribes try to work with each other to build monolithic statues. Group 56. Garage, Behind, Storage. 1. Behind the garage is a secret storage room. 2. Behind the garage, there is a flat car drawn by mules. Group 57. Sale, Figure, Rising. 1. Sale figures last year are better than expected. 2. Newspapers are supported primarily by the sale of advertising space. 3. Rising sales figures means a rise in demand. 4. It is important to take gender into account when discussing the figures. Group 58. Animal, Captivity, Counterpart. 1. Animals raised in captivity behave differently from their wild counterparts. 2. These have also been found to contribute to the death of many marine animals. 3. Many toxins originate from plants or animals. Group 59. Note, please, confirm. 1. Please note that the college laboratory will be closed for cleaning next week. 2. Please confirm that you have received the textbook. 3. Please note, submission deadlines are only negotiable in exceptional circumstances. 4. If it helps you to concentrate by taking notes, please do it. 5. Could you please prepare a medical certificate for me to submit to my manager? 6. If it helps to take notes in order to concentrate, please do so. 7. It is important to make clear notes while you are reading. Group 60. Resource, Space, Thing. 1. It is very likely that space travel will become popular in the private sector. 2. This science fiction novel uses inventions for better space to create the setting. 3. Human being compete with other things for resources and space. 4. Geography is generally divided into two branches, human and physical. 5. Relevant resources are reserved in the library. 6. Plants are living things that grow on land or in water. 7. It is absolutely vital to allocate your resources. Group 61. Law, Job, Firm. 1. He has landed the job in a prestigious law firm. 2. Law is beneficial to investors by protecting their rights and avoiding any improper actions in the market. 3. Law firms required a brief introduction during interview. 4. The city's founder created a set of rules that became to law. 5. Laws protect consumer right and help to avoid problems. 6. A number of students have some volunteer jobs. Group 62. Event, Doubt, Importance. 1. The importance of this event is not fully understood. 2. Mutually exclusive events are neither complementary nor opposite. 3. There are some doubts to whether these events actually occurred. Group 63. Using, Conference, Qualification. 1. The qualification will be assessed by using a conference criterion to approach. 2. The qualification will be assessed by using the criteria to approach. 3. There will be a conference here next summer on using the web for academic research. 4. The untapped potential of using the sun is enormous. Group 64. Launching, Product, Marketing. 1. When launching a product, research and marketing are very vital. 2. When launching a new product, investment in marketing is crucial. Group 65. History, Movement, Recorded. 1. The history of the movement is recorded by several writers. 2. The history of the movements was recorded by several writers, promoters. 3. The history of this university is a long and interesting one. Group 66. Student, Practice, Nursing. 1. Clinical placement for nursing prepares students for professional practice. 2. Clinical practice for nursing will prepare students for professional work. 3. The elective course introduces engineering students to construct practices and concepts. Group 67. Paper, Research, Place. 1. You are required to complete the research paper by Monday. 2. The research took part in place as well as scientific papers. 3. The toughest part of research for postgraduate student is funding. 4. Doctoral writing has a shock in place as well as scientific papers. 5. And in that regard, as well as in other regards, it stands as an important contribution. 6. Hundreds of scientific papers have been published on global warming. 7. The relative humidity is the amount of moisture that the air can hold. Group 68. Assignment, Deadline, First. 1. The assignment should be before deadline. 2. The first assignment of the book is on the 14th of December. 3. The first assignment will be due on the 14th of September. 4. You should include these 2 pictures from the lecture in your assignment. 5. You should review all the chapters before submitting your assignment. 6. Your assignments should be submitted to the department office before the deadline. 7. It is important for students to keep up with the deadline. Group 69. People, Lab, Lifestyle. 1. Some people regarded this as eyewash whereas some people ask for the status of their complaints and actions taken. 2. There are still many people struggling in the lab. 3. No more than 4 people are allowed in the lab. 4. People with active lifestyle are less likely to die early or to have major illness. 5. The aim is to reduce the risks that people take. 6. If you use anger as a tool too often, people will learn to avoid you. 7. Safety glasses should be worn while doing experiments in the lab. 8. Preparation is important to avoid mishaps in the lab. 9. Let me know if anybody struggles in the lab. 10. The nearest automatic teller is in front of the anatomy labs. Group 70. Level, Background, Education. 1. A person's education level is closely related to their economic background. 2. Some people argue that education is not that important. 3. Educational levels are found to be related to social and economic backgrounds. Group 71. Life, City, People. 1. Some young people find city life rather stressful. 2. Fashion trends help people to make life interesting. 3. Life expectancy and infant mortality rates are 2 of the best indicators of overall health. 4. Overcrowding and poor sanitation affected the lives of the majority of the population. 5. Sydney is Australia's largest city, chief port and culture centre. 6. Traffic is the main cause for pollution in main cities. Group 72. Fund, Authority, Commission. 1. The Commission of Funds supported among authorities has raised an argument. 2. The commission will be pooled into funds among authorities. 3. Your agent will collect commission for each house they sell. 4. The commission of funds is supported among the authorities. 5. The university seeks the funds for renovation of the theatre. 6. The commissioner will portion funds for the authorities. Group 73. Period, Literature, Age. 1. The period is a golden age of English literature. 2. Organizational failure is considered in various perspectives in academic literature. 3. Freshwater creatures didn't appear in the paintings until the modern period. Group 74. Project, Point, Norm. 1. The whole point of the project was to look at the norm not the exception. 2. The final year will consist of 4 taught courses and 1 project. 3. Why has the project been held up for so long? 4. 8 groups need to submit the outlines of their projects to their tutors. Group 75. Criterion, Eligibility, Remember. 1. Remember, this phenomenon has strict eligibility criteria. 2. There is a strict eligibility criterion to undertake background speaker studies. 3. Remember, the prestigious selection has strict eligibility criteria. 4. Remember all students have strict ability criteria. Group 76. Cause, Disease, Finding. 1. Lung cancer remains a largely incurable disease. 2. If finance is the cause of concern, a scholarship will be available. 3. The findings of researchers are focused on the causes of diseases and treatments. Group 77. Effect, Pressure, People. 1. The pressure to get degrees has a great effect on young people. 2. Peer pressure has a great effect on young people. 3. In Europe, the political pressure is similar regarding globalization. 4. Avoid confusing the costs and effects of those changes. Group 78. Fish, Camera, See. 1. Catch the camera to see the fish. 2. Caged cameras as used to see the fish. 3. The cafeteria features sandwiches, salads, soup, chicken and fish. Group 79. Campus Tour, Summer. 1. The campus tour runs daily during summer. 2. The campus tour will help you to get familiar with the teaching facilities. 3. Free campus tours run daily in summer for prospective students. 4. Water taps on the campus will discourage the frequent use of plastic bottles. 5. The garden behind the university is open to the public in the summer. 6. Tours operate all years round, but the busier dry season runs from May. Group 80. World Radio Form. 1. Radio is a popular form of entertainment throughout the world. 2. We study science to understand and appreciate the world around us. 3. Experts are thinking that the world climate is changing. Group 81. Farming, packaging, important. 1. The most important process of farming is weeding. 2. The fertile plains in the east of the region provide excellent land for farming. 3. Packaging is very important to attract intentioned buyers. Group 82. Day, end, thief. 1. Agenda items should be submitted by the end of the day. 2. The thief visited the homes of several people every day. 3. The island is located at the north end of the bay. Group 83. Application, submitting, registration. 1. Before submitting your dissertation, registration, your advisor must approve your application. 2. Before submitting your registration, your advisor must approve your application. 3. The application process is longer than expected. Group 84. Wildlife, developer, tire. 1. The tire of wildlife has been ignored by developers. 2. The plight of wildlife has been ignored by developers. Group 85. Biotechnology, development, technology. 1. Technologies on biotechnology are of crucial importance in the future development. 2. The development in the information technology has greatly changed the way people work. 3. Public perception about biotechnology is crucial for developing scientific consensus. Group 86. Field, research, archaeology. 1. We support, to do, research in the field of archaeology such as forecasting and estimation. 2. There is currently a need for a further research in this field. 3. The study of archaeology requires extensive international field work. 4. There are new innovations in the field of digital architecture. 5. Career opportunities in this field are quite limited. 6. The new theory takes all the latest research results into account. 7. Good research delivers practical benefits for real people. Group 87. Number, subject, contact. 1. We are able to contact a number of the research subjects. 2. We were able to contact a number of research subjects. 3. You were able to contact a number of research subjects. 4. We were able to contact a number of researchers. 5. Popular culture is now a serious subject of academic inquiry. 6. Carefully rub contact lenses with your fingers for a thorough cleanse. 7. Higher numbers of patients were infected than during previous outbreaks of illness. 8. There is no correlation between drug use and killer rates. 9. Participants are initially selected from the wide range of foundation subjects. Group 88. Parent, child, adulthood. 1. Parents are financially responsible for their children until they reach adulthood. 2. Parents' talks to children tend to be simplified. Group 89. Everyone, room, exit. 1. Everyone should evacuate this room at the exit during the fire drill. 2. Everyone in this room needs to follow the rules. 3. When everyone commits to looking after their health, soft drinks will not be on the menu. 4. The railway made long-distance travel possible for everyone. 5. All staff must leave from fire hydrant exits. Group 90. Completing, application, form. 1. Student concession cards should be obtained by completing an application form. 2. Studio can be obtained by completing an application forms. 3. Before completing the exercise, you need to read the remaining chapters. 4. Students' identification cards will be issued today or tomorrow. Group 91. Demand, product, task. 1. Your task is to create the demand of the product. 2. The new product failed due to lack of demand. 3. Increasing population results in an increasing demand in energy. 4. Supply and demand is one of the most fundamental factors in the economics. 5. The teacher asked the group to commence the task. 6. Create a playlist of your favorite music to help you relax in difficult situations. 7. The software companies design and create new products. Group 92. Course, part, assessment. 1. Coursework and exam will form part of the annual assessment. 2. This course is very integrated because it has several parts. 3. The curriculum is described in course syllabus. 4. This is an integrated course with several elements. 5. The course has been updated to reflect the current situation. 6. Applicants for the course preferably have a preference over English and journalism. 7. The part is good but is more insightful. 8. The toughest part of public transport is funding. 9. The key difference between courses is the kind of assessment. 10. We provide a wide range of courses to undergraduate and postgraduate students. Group 93. Hypothesis, mistake, data. 1. Another common mistake is to ignore or rule out data, which do not support the hypothesis. 2. The key findings seem to contradict our initial hypothesis. 3. Ideally, the experimenter is open to the possibility that the hypothesis is correct or incorrect. 4. The massive accumulation of data is converted into communicable arguments. 5. Making mistake is fine as long as you learn from it. Group 94. Economy, country, commissioner. 1. The country's economy is primarily based on tourism. 2. Experts believe that industry development will help economy. 3. Heavy rain will fall across the country next week. 4. The commissioner will collect fines for the sovereignty. 5. Textile manufacturer plays a large role in improving economies. Group 95. Century, reform, 1. 1. He was not the only one to call for a legal reform in the 16th century. 2. We are on track for 1 billion tobacco-related deaths this century. 3. That brief outline takes us to the beginning of the 2nd century. 4. During the next few centuries, London will become one of the most powerful and prosperous cities in Europe. 5. An ancient text may hold secrets which were lost centuries ago. 6. All educational reforms have been inadequately implemented. 7. Government reforms have been proposed at all levels. Group 96. Meeting, room, struggle. 1. Our group is meeting tomorrow in the library conference room. 2. The meeting has some struggle overlaps. 3. A party is thrown in the small meeting room. 4. Read the first section before the next meeting. 5. That means they don't have any struggle overlaps. Group 97. Problem, explanation, thesis. 1. The thesis has reached the explanation of the problem. 2. This thesis has reached the same explanation of the problem. 3. The same approach reached the same explanation of the problem. 4. I don't think it is possible to solve the problem easily. 5. The main concepts in this thesis were not new. 6. Your thesis should have a fairly limited scope. 7. The same issue featured both the explanations and the problems. 8. Efforts are being made to reduce harmful emissions. 9. Economic problems cause a rise in unemployment. Group 98. Teaching, staff, assistant. 1. The teaching staffs are extremely approachable, helpful and friendly. 2. The faculty staff are very approachable, friendly and extremely helpful. 3. Teaching assistants will receive a monthly stipend for housing. Group 99. Graduate, journalism, job. 1. Many graduates of journalism get jobs in communication field. 2. Many graduates studying journalism get jobs in the communication field. Group 100. Inflation, demand, consumption. 1. Inflation affects the demand, pricing and consumption of most products. 2. Rising inflation will increase the demand, price and the consumption of products. 3. Recession triggers creativity due to past inflation. Group 101. Scientist, climate, change. 1. Climate change is a fierce phenomenon concentrated by scientists. 2. Climate change is becoming an acceptable phenomenon amongst a group of reputable scientists. 3. Most scientists believe that climate change threatens lives on the Earth. Group 102. Source, help, university. 1. If you need additional helps, please visit the University Source Center. 2. It is absolutely vital that you have to acknowledge all your sources. 3. Review all the sources before drawing your conclusion. Group 103. Month, morning, Thursday. 1. The museum is closed on Thursday mornings every month. 2. We can have a lecture on the morning of Thursday. 3. In English, the month of the year is always capitalized. Group 104. Difference, life, Share. 1. In spite of the differences, all species of life share certain characteristics. 2. Despite their differences, all forms of life share the same characteristics. 3. Rivers provide habitats and migration pathways to fish and numerous aquatic species. Group 105. Microscope, Biology, Lab. 1. The new technician drops the microscope in the biology lab. 2. The technician left the new microscope in biology lab. Group 106. Director, Gallery, Donation. 1. The director of gallery was grateful for the anonymous donation. 2. The director of the gallery was grateful for the anonymous donation. Group 107. Website, Information, Time. 1. Please visit the website for information about opening time. 2. You can find a lot more information on the university website. 3. Lectures outlines are available on the college internal website. 4. The museum is huge, so make a few focused visits if you have time. Group 108. Exam, Laptop, System. 1. The exam system has been upgraded due to professional exam. 2. You can have your laptop during the exam. 3. You can use your laptop during the lecture. Group 109. Group, Hall, Concert. 1. Submitting your group assignment must be issued punctually by one of your group members. 2. The group will perform in the concert hall. 3. Remember to sign the attendance register before leaving the hall. 4. The dining hall will be under renovation during the fall break. 5. Observers waited nervously and hold the breath for the concert. 6. The guide is qualified to lead the groups into the mountain. Group 110. Business, Firm, Seminar. 1. The business development seminar includes an internship with a local firm. 2. The business plan seminar includes an internship with a local firm. 3. The business development seminar includes some entrepreneurship with the local firm. 4. They look at the health needs of the local community and develop plans to set priorities locally.